Hey everyone, this is Better Future by Luis Quiroga Castañeda. I'm your host, and yeah, today we're gonna do our sort of last video of this series, just sort of my life experiences, and this is college up until me right now as a sophomore, sort of about to end their year, so basically a junior in college. So start with sports. I have I've generally just been going to the gym, health wise. I think it's really important. I really touched on it on both of my videos back in middle school and then high school. I think I really started to realize how big health and exercising is. I used to not be big on it because I was sort of sort of an introvert who really wanted to play video games all day, but I I sort of started to sort of carve my way upon that, and even then, it's a little hard sort of meet. Just like going to the gym, consistency is key. So but I still think it's big important. So a big piece of advice there. It definitely improves your life energy, as sort of in a way, but also your lifestyle for sure. In college, I definitely think joining a sport of some kind is, I think, very beneficial to one's life balance. I am involved in IM soccer. I play it. I think I started playing it this year, really. Yeah, I didn't do it freshman year, and then I was like, oh wait, I should do it. So, because I love soccer. I said that, I think, elementary video, but I'm a big soccer guy, and I stopped playing it because I didn't really. I don't know. There was something about it that just didn't click with me, and I like watching it and playing it. I love FIFA, so if anyone wants to play FIFA, drop in the comments your username. Do friendly. But yeah, I think I started trying it with my org. We have an org team for the fall, and then we did another one for this spring this year. We just got knocked out from second match of playoffs. So I'm burning a little bit, but no, it's okay, guys. I loved it, honestly. I think people I play with are very supportive, even though I'm not the best in the team. But I like playing it. I don't know. I'm very passionate, and then I know tactics, but like not like I'm not too skillful with the ball. I would say more of a defense like type, or like a holding midfielder. You know what I'm saying? Not big on dribbling, but I could force some tackles. And I've loved it. So I think being part of a team also helps you build yourself. Just genuinely in your life. As I did in swimming back in high school. I think, yeah, just being part of a team helps. And even though this is a little limited, the IM soccer, even cooler would be being joining like a club team if you're even that good. Like club soccer, club boxing. I know a couple friends do that. What is it? Yeah, just stuff like that. It definitely makes one's experience a lot better, and you have something forward to. Like, oh, I got a game next week. If I get through this exam, I can we can play. I can The game day will come, and then we'll beat and we'll win the championship. So it's cool. In terms of social wise, yeah, man, I think college is the best I have been socially. That's a I don't think many people realize that as they sort of get into college. Uh, maybe maybe people just sort of extroverts from birth just sort of continue their thing of just talking to people, and but I think for introverts, I think this is the time in your life where you really find your people. I First of all, I met a lot of Hispanics here, who I'm now friends with. I have such a big network, and I'll get to that. I'll get to that later in terms of my org, but I'm really grateful for it. I have this I have this one friend group of my close friends, Liam, Brian, Guillermo, and Daniela. So shout out to them. They mean everything to me, and also I also make a shout out for my freshman friend group, which I'll talk a little more later. They were one of them was a friend from my big friend group back in high school, and his name was Young. And the two were people that I knew in high school that I got really close with. So shout out to Artie and Hannah, who are still some of my closest friends, and that I will keep nurturing that relationship or friendship for sure. Yeah, like I was saying, college is awesome, guys. From here, you can branch off from in so many ways, and I would say big tip for just socially, if you're not that social sound and you don't really know you, because if you're social sound, you just talk to people and then just flow off. But if you don't really know what to do, just literally just try to find a friend group, and then from that friend group, literally so much sort of opens, because you get to meet your friends' friends, and because your friends, the friends that you meet might not be introverts, so you meet friends' friends, and then friends of their friends, and then maybe you'll vibe with someone a lot more. Say, Jan had a friend who also played soccer but also played FIFA, and I'm like, oh, this is cool, and I start playing FIFA with this dude, and we literally play FIFA, I think, constantly and we become, I think, best buds, and then he introduced me to his group and stuff like that. It's all just it's a big chain, you know what I'm saying? And I think just doing all this can be greater accomplished even then by joining organizations, which is what I was trying to get at, or so the transition from this point. I think my way to go about it is I wanted to join an org for fun, an org for professional development, and then an org for my technical sort of side as an engineer. And that's what I've done in college. But first, I'll first talk about professionally. It is very important to just join a professional development organization to sort of further your professional career and sort of boost you up to what your resume could potentially look like. Because you come up with basically nothing. Companies will not will usually not look at freshmen and with an empty resume and be like, oh, here's an internship, or here's a job. It's something that you build upon, and companies usually like to wait a little bit, and that's where sort of these orgs come up, where they bring in these sponsors. You get to see them talk about a certain topic, and you maybe even get to interact with with the people that they bring to give these presentations at the end of the meeting. So great chances to network, and I think for my professional environment that I'm involved in right now is SHEP, which is short for Society of Hispanic Professional Engineers. And in this chapter, I am the foundation director for it, which has been an amazing journey. I joined SHEP sort of at the beginning of my freshman year as an engineering fair. Shout out to Ulysses. He was the one in the booth that sort of talked to me and maybe helped me sign up for SHEP. So a big props to the guy. And since then I did 1 year as a member, and then I ran for e-board and ended up being fundraising director. And this year has been awesome in terms of that. I've developed, I think, so much just organizing events, and then by organizing events, you also get to talk to, I guess, the sponsors one-on-one, I guess, more closely, because they're like, oh, you're part of the org and you helped organize this. That's really impressive. And then you sort of branches off. I think it's also cool. It also helps for you to be in sort of this professional setting and where you get to work with people that maybe you're not bound to be besties with, but you make it work, and or even then you're fine. You get to work with people that may end up becoming your close friends, because being on an executive board in college, you see people a lot, because there's a lot of for us we did weekly meetings, so you got to see these people, I think, at least once a week if there was no events the rest of the week. But yeah, I that you can meet new people, network, and that's big professional networking. That's a lot of people will tell you that, and I will re-emphasize it right now. Networking is key in your college career, and I'll talk more about that later. But yeah, I'll talk about it now. Attend career fairs and networking events, but do not feel forced to go to everything. I remember I felt forced to just going to everything as a freshman, because I was like, oh, I need to get ahead of everything, and I don't know. It was good for me I went to both fall and spring career fairs. Fall is more recommended since people are low key, I think, looking more towards the fall. Um, and it's a bigger career fair anyways. That's the case for Penn State anyways, but it's good. Also, the networking events that happen every now and then where you have to bring a suit, and I did those my freshman year, and then I sort of started focusing on the career fairs as more importantly in terms of recruiting, because I saw those as more important than just the random networking events that happen over campus. So yeah, just make sure to sort of stay tuned on that, because it is, I know you got 4 years, but in the same sense, you only got 4 years to sort of do the most you can with whatever you got. So researching what stuff there is, what events there are, and also in terms of sort of your pitch and your professional, that that can be improved, as I said, with the personal development orgs, or just by literally just going to these career fairs and sort of taking in that experience, because once you see that something's not working, you change it, and then you change it, and you change it, and then eventually you get to a point where your resume works, and you actually see a change where people start to see people starting to be like, oh, you're actually the perfect fit for this job, instead of just being like, oh, scan the QR code and we'll get to you back. I got to you later. Worst feeling ever. But that's everyone's hit that point. That's in their life, and yeah, it definitely pays off. Persistence pays off. I remember, I don't know. I feel like I'm getting closer as to a couple companies just by by going to their booth every time there's like a career fair, and they notice that, and then they start knowing your name, and then when you're like a junior, and that's why I'm not there yet, but so I can't really tell you if the results of it, but at a junior, this is what I've been told, by the way. They are ready to offer you because you've been there since day one as a freshman, so I recommend just really bothering them, in a nice way, obviously, like, oh, how you doing, and then, or in the next career fair, going up to them and be like, oh, how you doing, and going to the same person maybe, and then they'll be like, and they'll start saying your name, like I said. It's really important for the recruiters to know you, and then know that you're progressing. So between every time that you meet with them, make sure to have something new. I don't know, because progress in getting better is sort of important, and to companies, and for recruiting, they want to see you improving in college, because that's what it's about, sort of just getting better at it, and stuff like that, and yeah, like I said, persistence pays off, and being on the executive board or any leadership position, like I said, great resume builder. And for Shep, I was a fundraising director, and I think that helped me a lot. And but just being an executive board of anything, I think is really important. It makes you're owning up to a lot of responsibility, and companies do notice that. They will notice that and be like, "Oh, you're part of leadership. You know how it is like to work with people," which is a very important skill in today's world. And since we're such in like a interconnected world, and I would say, but yeah, I'm also the fundraising director for CASA this year. That's in terms of ethnic. I guess Shep is also ethnic, but in terms of ethnic organizations, sort of following my 111 rule, that's sort of my fun organization. It's the Colombian American Student Association, and for this, just get to interact with people in the same culture and get to do fun events that remind me of my culture back home. This year we did like Colombian goodie bags, played some Colombian board games, and so such fun stuff, not necessarily like professional development, but stuff that you're like, okay, I need this to sort of need a change of mind, of change of pace. You know what I'm saying? And I was really glad to be part of CASA this year and hope to be involved even more next year. Um, so yeah, that's sort of my sort of fun ethnic organization. So Shep, CASA, and then I will now talk about my technical organization. As an engineer, projects are key, and a lot of people will tell you that as an engineer. And even if you are an engineer, just being involved in research or projects, and like I said, research projects and just in a professional setting is key. So I recommend just joining a technical club, but being really involved in it. I currently am part of Navy Motorsports. My first year, I sort of tried the chassis division. I was active for a little bit at the beginning, but then I sort of backed off because I didn't really find a sense of belonging there, even though people were awesome. I just did it. I just got caught up in my classes and didn't really stick to it. This year, I stuck a little bit more to it, but I don't think I did enough for me to feel like I really didn't make a significant change. I did try out this year. I did sort of try out the different subsystems. I tried the aero subsystem because obviously aerospace, but also because I wanted to change the pace. For that, I got introduced to like aero simulation softwares, which is I think very in touch with what I want to do. So literally, like imagine that if I didn't join this club, I would have not known what this was until like when I was older. So I wouldn't have any like familiarity towards it. So literally just knowing about softwares is just literally puts you in another tier compared to other people. This will up your experience and just sort of make you look again more experienced for interviews, for internships, jobs, and stuff like that. And that's what I intend to do next year. I want to maybe try to get more involved, that I can even be a team lead for my senior year, which would be a team lead basically, a team lead for each division. Sort of oversees the system, and then the team lead sort of is based on, there's like sub leads depending on like validation, design, and manufacturing, finance, and so it's a really huge org, and just sort of technical stuff like that. And then if you're an engineer, it's a car club. Navy Motorsports is a car club, so we worked on the chassis and then the aerodynamics of the car. But if you do research on, like, say if you're a psych major, you work in, for CAPS, which is I think the psychological or the therapy network that for PSU that's free for the first 5 sessions, I believe. Like that's great experience. Or say you're more science based. If you do research is key. If you don't want to do like a team, like I said, it's doing research and as an engineer is also big important. That sort of could replace it. Even could be even more valuable than being on a team, but obviously both are key, especially since I think in Penn State is a big research university, which I'm really proud to be a part of. So hopefully I become involved in that maybe. But yeah, that's my 3 orgs that I'm sort of involved in and sort of aim to continue. One thing that I maybe want to do next year, also setting goals, is maybe more outreach. SHEP does have an outreach program that helps out like maybe kids. I would maybe want to do something more impactful than just locally. I know I did a little bit of Habitat for Humanity where we built a house or helped build that part of the house for a family with Habitat for Humanity. I think was founded by a president. I can't remember the name, but Ronald Reagan, I think. But stuff like that. I want maybe I want to see if I can spare some time to sort of get involved because I love giving back to the community, and it's one of the reasons why I joined SHEP and sort of why I'm doing these videos, guys. I like to sort of, I don't know, just get back to and sort of help people sort of get better. That's why I always insist on my sister, like, hey, if you need help with math or science, I got you. Or if you want to talk about your classes, I got you. Because I don't know, I feel the need to do that. And yeah, pretty much being in touch. Yeah, specific opportunities that I want to mention. If you're in Penn State, you can skip this if you are not. Or actually, no, I could make parallels. PLA, which is the Presidential Leadership Academy. It's for freshmen only. So if you want to apply, you get to take a class, I think, with the president of Penn State. Pretty cool, and you learn about leadership. So make sure to search that up. PLA. Schreier's Honors College. Make sure to apply to it if you're applying to Penn State and you think you're competitive enough. And even if you aren't, I think just taking a shot at it, and you can apply for the Honors College even after you get admitted to Penn State. So, they give you a good portion of your tuition and just sort of enable you with even more opportunities to grow. I think that's a great initiative, just generally for college. If you join your own college's honors college, if you have the chance to, definitely go for it. Which goes hand to hand with research program scholarships. I know from a couple friends, the Clark Scholars and Millennium Scholars are great ways to sort of get that. And you get tuition and housing and food paid for. It's crazy. I recommend for maybe some high school juniors, seniors to sort of look into that. I think maybe for Millennium, you need to, I think, write like a research paper while you're applying. It's crazy, but trust me, college is expensive, so whichever money you can save is great. And also, the opportunities you get from it. I know someone who was in Millennium, who is the president for SHEP. She did a whole research project, and she went to literally the Amazon forest, and presented her research in the form of a TED Talk, even crazy. And really opportunities to be insane, to have this much impact in the world are at your fingertips if you try enough. So make sure to sort of look for that. Like I said, for technical, sort of look for research in college. I took it for tips that literally just emailing a professor and be like, hey, I would love to work in your lab and doing anything. I can start unpaid if you need it, but literally just getting any kind of obviously experience. But it has to be, obviously, it should be something that you're interested about. You can't just want to work in like a lab with mice if you're like a, I don't know, like an aerospace engineer. Like, what are you gonna do with mice into space? I don't know, maybe send one up to space like monkeys. I don't know what to say to that, but yeah. What else? Teachers are a key resource. It's just a side note. Office hours are huge in college. I think going to them definitely help. I know I say that, maybe I don't go to them as often, but when I do, it's really helpful. It also depends on the teachers. Also, Ray, my professor, is goated when it comes to scheduling, so keep a note on that. Yeah, their teachers are here to help you, even if it may seem like they don't, or if they hate you, but they are. That's what they're paid for, or that's what they pay for, and some of them go above and beyond because they love to teach. And I think for this one's specifically more for ethnic or international students. Joining ethnic organizations can help with sort of visa and international student help. Since, say you're an international student from Puerto Rico and you join SHEP, we really have international director which can help you with links to companies that provide visa sponsorship for internships that can help you sort of move your career forward, or you need help with setting up F1 visa. There's like a whole, then we have documents for that, and even we can direct you somewhere else where you can get the help for that. So that's also a big thing when it comes to international people, for sure. And my last message as I end this sort of series, it's okay if you fail at something once, but because eventually you'll get it done. I mean, I think maybe throughout this sort of the making of this series, I've realized that, I didn't really expect for me to be here. I don't know if I'm looking back as a kid from Colombia. I remember everything was so simple. I wouldn't imagine I'll be here in this exact spot. What was it? Almost 10 years from now. So it's crazy how time changes and how really you never know where things are gonna go, genuinely. But I think as long as you put your best foot forward to whatever life throws at you, you can succeed. So thank you guys for watching this longest video yet, but a lot to say about college. I love college, guys. And you will too if you're not there yet. Make sure to, I don't know, subscribe more for, maybe I'll make some more videos if I got the time, but if these do well as well. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I hope this reaches the right audience and sort of helps people. Really, by taking a look at my life, it helps they look at theirs and be like, oh, maybe I should change this. And by no means I'm like a model to follow. There's so much things that which I said, sort of reflected upon. There's so much things that I could do that maybe I'm not doing right now, but it's just what I've experienced. I think sharing experience is good. All right. Yeah. Thank you guys for watching, and see you for next time.